You pour milk into your morning coffee. The white swirl folds into the black liquid like a slow cloud. Sunlight cuts a clean stripe across the kitchen table. Your phone screen glows with a weather forecast for a mild afternoon. You hear a car door slam outside and think nothing of it. A neighbor walks their dog past your window at the usual time. You check the calendar on the wall out of habit. Thursday. It looks exactly like every other Thursday in the photo album of your mind. You rinse the spoon and place it in the drying rack. The metal clinks against ceramic and settles into silence. But the silence is too tight. It feels like the air before a thunderstorm when the birds stop singing. You notice the street outside is now empty. No cars, no dog walker. Just pavement and parked vehicles sitting too still. You look at your phone again. One bar of service flickers and dies. The Wi-Fi symbol vanishes. You try to load a page, but it just spins a gray wheel of nothing. You tell yourself it's a technical issue. You tap the side of the router box with your finger. The little green lights stare back at you, unblinking, dead. A sound rolls in from very far away. It is not thunder. It is a low, heavy thump that you feel in your sternum more than you hear it. Your coffee cup trembles just slightly on the tabletop. You press your palm flat on the wood to stop the vibration. It stops. Everything is quiet again. You walk to the window and press your forehead to the cool glass. The sky is still blue. A single bird cuts across the frame, fast and panicked. You see Mrs. Habib from next door standing on her balcony. She is holding her phone to the sky like she's trying to catch a signal from the clouds. Her mouth is moving, but you can't hear the words through the pane. You step back and pull the curtain closed just an inch. The fabric feels different in your hand, heavier. Your lungs tighten around a breath you didn't realize you were holding. You go back to the kitchen. The coffee has stopped steaming. You stare at the cooling surface as if it holds a map to what comes next. Another thump. Closer now. The glass in the window rattles in its frame like chattering teeth. The power cuts out. The refrigerator sigh stops. The hum of the world goes silent. You are standing in a square of sunlight listening to a refrigerator that is no longer running. You hear your own heartbeat in your ears. It is a wet, frantic drum. You pick up your keys from the hook by the door. You drop them back down. Where would you drive? The highway is a question mark. You turn on the battery-powered radio in the cupboard. You haven't touched this radio in 3 years. It's dusty and the dial is stiff. Static. Then a voice. The voice is calm, but the words are sharp glass. They are crossing the border. You twist the volume knob up. The voice repeats the line. Then the signal dissolves into a high-pitched squeal and vanishes. You stand up. Your knees feel like they belong to someone much older. You walk to the front door and lock the deadbolt. You unlock it. Then you lock it again. You can't remember if you already did that. You check the window locks. You check them twice. Your fingers are cold even though the sun is warm on your neck. The phone in your pocket is just a dead weight now, a brick of glass and metal. You look at the family photo on the bookshelf. Faces from a birthday party. Balloons. Cake. You remember the taste of that icing. Vanilla. Sweet. Safe. You hear a siren. Not a police siren. Not an ambulance. This is a rising and falling wail that drills into your ear canal and stays there. You cover your ears. It doesn't help. The sound is inside the walls. You crouch down next to the sofa. The fabric of the cushion smells like laundry detergent at home. You press your face into it. You want to crawl inside the smell and zip it behind you. The floor vibrates. Dust motes dance in the sunbeam like they don't have a care in the world. You watch them float while the ground groans. Your neighbor in the apartment above you runs across their floor. Pots clatter. A door slams. Footsteps pound down the stairwell. You hear a woman crying in the hallway. It's a sound you've never heard from a grown adult before. A raw animal sound of pure confusion. You look at the coat rack.
Your jacket hangs there, the one you wear to the grocery store. You reach for it, but your hand stops. You don't need a coat for where you are going. You are already there. You move to the bathroom. This is what people do. They go to the bathroom. You fill the bathtub with cold water. You don't know why. You just remember a movie where someone did that. The water splashes over the white porcelain. It looks like a treasure. You turn the tap off when it's full. You stare at the surface. It's a tiny, trembling ocean inside your apartment. The siren stops. The silence that follows is even worse. It's a vacuum. Your ears ring trying to fill the void. You hear a distant crackle. Popcorn. That's what it sounds like. But it's not popcorn. It's the sound of something ending. You realize you haven't seen a single airplane cross the sky in the last hour. The sky is empty of contrails. It's just blue and void. You sit on the edge of the tub. Your hand touches the water. It's cold, real. You are still here. You are still breathing. The sun moves across the floor tiles. Time passes even though the clock on the wall has stopped. You notice the shadows are longer now. You haven't eaten since the coffee. You walk back to the kitchen. The milk is on the counter. It's warm now. You open the fridge. The light doesn't come on. You grab a block of cheese and a half-empty bag of bread. You chew a slice of cheese folded into a piece of bread. You count the chews. 1, 2, 3. You look at the calendar. Thursday. You cross out Thursday with a marker. Just a line, a mark. Proof that this day existed. You go to the window again. The street is no longer empty. There are people, but they are not walking dogs. They are carrying suitcases. They are pushing strollers with blankets piled higher than the baby inside. You see a man with a painting under his arm, a framed landscape of a mountain. He is carrying it like it's a shield. You see a teenager running, just running, no bag, no shoes, just feet slapping the pavement. You look at your suitcase in your closet. It's filled with summer clothes. You pull it out and dump the shorts on the floor. Bright colors look obscene now. You grab the photo album instead. You stuff it in a backpack. You add the battery radio. You add a box of crackers. You look at the bathtub full of water. You can't take that with you. You fill a plastic bottle from the tap while there's still pressure. The pipes spurt and cough. Then it goes to a trickle. Then it stops. The pipes groan a death rattle. You hold the half-full bottle like a trophy. It's the most valuable thing you own right now. You go down the stairs. The hallway is dark. The emergency lights are dead. You use your phone's dead screen as a reflector to catch a sliver of light. The stairwell smells like plaster dust and fear. You step outside. The air is different. It tastes like plaster and smoke. Not campfire smoke. Sharper.
Chemical. You join the flow of people walking east. Nobody is talking. Just the sound of feet. Thousands of shoes scraping asphalt. You see a woman stop in the middle of the road. She takes off her high heels. She drops them on the hood of a parked car. She keeps walking barefoot. The shoes sit there like a sculpture of the old world. You keep your head down. You watch the feet in front of you. Red sneakers, brown loafers, a child's flashing light-up shoe. It's still blinking blue with every step. The battery in that shoe doesn't know the world has ended. You walk for an hour, or maybe 3. Time is just the distance between those loud booming sounds in the distance. You see a bus stopped in the intersection. The doors are open, the engine is on, the driver is gone. People walk around it like a boulder in a stream. You pass a supermarket. The glass windows are shattered into cubes. People are walking out with bread and water. Nobody is stealing televisions. Nobody wants a big screen. They want cans. You go inside. It's dark, and the floor is crunchy with glass and spilled rice. You find a can of beans. You put it in your backpack. You step on a photograph of a smiling face under the debris, a receipt, a coupon for laundry soap, the things we thought mattered. You walk until you find a building with a basement door open. A man is standing there waving people in. His face is gray with dust. "Here," is all he says. "Down here." You go down. The steps are uneven. The basement smells like mold and potatoes. It is dark. Someone lights a candle. A dozen faces float in the orange glow. Strangers, all of you, in a hole in the ground. Nobody asks your name. Nobody cares. You are all just bodies seeking cover. You find a spot against a cold stone wall. You slide down until you are sitting. The floor is hard. The damp seeps through your jeans instantly. You close your eyes. You open them because the dark behind your eyelids is too loud. You can hear the thumping above ground. It's like a giant walking. Step, step, step. You put your hands over your head. Everyone in the basement does the same thing, a reflex, as if two hands can stop a falling building. The candle flickers with a blast of pressure. It doesn't go out. You watch the flame dance. You watch it for hours. In the morning, you crawl back out. The sky is gray, not from clouds, from smoke. The sun is a red coin in the haze. You go back to the apartment. You don't know why. You just need to see it. The door is still open. The bathtub water is still there, but there's a film of dust floating on top of it now. You look in the mirror. There is a person you almost recognize. Smudged cheek, red eyes, hollow stare. You splash the dusty water on your face anyway. It's cold. It wakes up your skin. You open the cabinets. You find a jar of peanut butter and a spoon. You sit in the kitchen floor and eat it. The spoon scrapes the glass. The sound is loud. It's the only sound in the world besides the distant rumble. The days melt. You stop checking the date on your phone because the phone is a paperweight now. You learn the sound of the jets. You learn the difference between outgoing and incoming. Outgoing is a roar that fades away. Incoming is a whistle that grows louder. When you hear the whistle, you drop. You don't think, you just drop. Pavement, mud, doesn't matter. You become small. You learn to sleep in intervals of 20 minutes. You wake up before the silence ends. Your body is afraid of deep sleep. Deep sleep means you can't hear the whistle. You learn to read people's shoes. Clean shoes mean a new refugee. Muddy shoes mean they've been walking for days. Blood on the laces means they ran from something you didn't see. You stand in line for water. The line is 2 blocks long. Nobody pushes, nobody shouts. They just wait. Everyone is too tired to be angry. You get to the front. A fireman is holding a hose. He sprays a jet of brown water into your bucket. You say, "Thank you." He nods without looking at you. He's looking at the sky. You carry the bucket like it's made of gold. You don't spill a drop. You boil the water on a small camping stove in the stairwell. You watch the bubbles rise. You wait 5 minutes longer than necessary. Boiling water is a ritual now, a prayer for safety. The food runs out. The peanut butter is gone. The crackers are dust. You stand in the kitchen holding an empty jar. You look at the dried pasta in the back of the cabinet. You need water to boil it. The fireman is gone. The tap is dry. You eat a hard noodle raw. It breaks your tooth a little. You chew carefully. It tastes like flour and thyme. The nights are the longest. The city is dark. No street lights, no windows glowing. Just a black blanket with stars that look too cold and far away. You sit on the balcony, with the door open behind you for a quick escape. You listen to the dogs barking in the distance. The dogs are the new alarm system. They hear the vibrations before you do. When the dogs stop barking, you hold your breath. That's when you know something is close. You lose track of Mrs. Habib. You see her door is open,
and a breeze is blowing her curtains out into the hall. You look inside. A teacup is on the table, half full. The tea has grown a layer of green mold. You close the door softly. You don't want the breeze to knock over her cup. It feels important to leave it there. You find a book, a paperback with a cracked spine. You start reading the same paragraph over and over. You can't remember the last sentence. Your brain is a sieve. The words fall through. You just stare at the shape of the letters. The shape is familiar. The meaning is gone. You talk to yourself now, just muttering. Keys are here. Water is low. Shoes by the door. You narrate your existence to keep your sanity attached to the ground. You catch yourself laughing at a joke you made in your head. Nobody hears it. The sound of your own laugh scares you. It sounds like a stranger's. The isolation is a second winter. You see other people in the rubble, but you are all in separate glass boxes. A nod is the most conversation you'll have in a week. A nod that says, "You're alive, I'm alive, that's all we've got." You miss small talk. You miss the weather. You miss complaining about traffic. The guilt of missing traffic feels heavy. You look at the empty highway overpass. Traffic was a sign of peace, movement without fear. Now, movement means running. The stress lives in your shoulders. It's a permanent rock lodged between your shoulder blades. You try to stretch, but your muscles just quiver. You sleep in a fetal position. You wake up curled tight. Your jaw aches from clenching it all night. You have dreams where you are in a grocery store. You are trying to pick a cereal. There are too many choices. You wake up crying. Not sobbing, just tears leaking out.
You don't wipe them away. You let them dry on your temples. You feel the skin tighten. It's a strange sensation. The emotional weight makes your legs heavy. Walking to the waterline feels like climbing Everest. Every step is a negotiation with your own will. You see a child playing with a stick in the dirt. They are drawing a sun, a circle with lines. They smile at the dirt drawing. You look at the real sun behind the smog. The child has better vision than you do now. They see what could be. You see what is. You adapt. The human animal is terrifyingly good at this. The booming sounds become background noise, like the old train that used to rumble past your office window. You stop flinching at every whistle. You only flinch at the close ones. Your ears learn to triangulate danger. Left ear, right ear, distance, safe, not safe. You find a rhythm. Wake, listen. Water, eat, listen. Hide, wait, sleep. This is your new job. You are a professional survivor. There is no paycheck. The currency is mourning. You learn to fix things with nothing. You use a shoelace to tie a broken gate. You use a candle wax to seal a crack in the window. You use a plastic bag to catch rain. The rain is a miracle. You stand in the open doorway and watch it fall. It washes the dust off the leaves of the dying tree in the courtyard. The world smells like wet earth for an hour. It smells like hope. You put every pot and pan outside. You listen to the drip, drip, drip. Music. You stop looking at the photo album. The faces in the pictures are too alive. They laugh without knowing about the whistle. You put the album under a floorboard. You'll dig it up later, when later comes. You look at the calendar. The X's cover most of the squares now. A month, or maybe just a week? Time is elastic. It stretches and snaps. You find a battery that works. You put it in the radio. Static. You twist the dial slowly. A voice, crackling. In humanitarian corridor, announced for 10 a.m. You look at the sky. The sun is at the 10 a.m. position. That was hours ago. You missed it. You were underground listening to your own heartbeat. You turn the radio off to save the battery. You want to scream. You want to throw the radio at the wall. You don't. You place it gently on the shelf. Screaming uses energy you don't have. Screaming attracts attention. Silence is your shield. You are no longer the person who poured milk into coffee. That person was soft. This person is wire and sinew. You can see in the dark better now. Your ears twitch at the sound of a falling pebble. You are an animal, but you are still human, because you still notice when the sun is beautiful. It sets behind the bombed-out high-rise, orange and purple bleeding into the smoke, and you stop. You stand still and watch it for 10 seconds. You let the color into your eyes. You let it wash the gray away. Then the dark comes, and you go back inside. You find a can of peaches at the bottom of the trash pile. The label is faded. The can is dented. You open it with a rock and a screwdriver. The syrup is thick and gold. You drink it from the can. It's the sweetest thing you've ever tasted. It tastes like a summer you forgot existed. It tastes like being a kid. You save half of a peach for tomorrow. You put it in a clean jar. You cover it with a piece of plastic. You look at it, a treasure, a reason to wake up. You realize that is what survival is. It's not fighting. It's saving half a peach. It's looking at a sunset. It's listening for the drip of rain. You lie down on the pile of blankets in the corner of the room. The ceiling has a crack shaped like a river. You've traced that river with your eyes 1,000 times. You know every bend. You know where it ends. You don't know where your life ends, but you know this river on the ceiling. And for now, that is enough. The world outside is unrecognizable, but you are still here. Your heart is beating, a steady, stubborn drum in the quiet dark. You close your eyes. You will open them again. That is the only promise you can make. That is the only power you have left. And you hold on to it, tightly. You keep it safe, just like the half peach, just like the memory of the coffee swirling in the cup. You are a civilian in a war, and you are still alive.